too busy to exercise or work out, practical advice to get you more activity into your busy schedule. I know when you're trying to lose weight, you got kids, you got a busy job, you don't really have too much time that you can spend on exercise, working out. And I get that. I was in the job doing 12-hour days sometimes, traveling to client sites and having no time. But I'm going to give you some practical advice, 5 of them in fact, to help you overcome those challenges. Please feel to share it with your friends and family, and obviously leave a comment on if you found this video helpful. It always helps. The algorithms, as they say. So the first thing to think about is having short, intense workouts. You can find maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes during the day to do a HIIT type workout or a home-based workout. That's going to get you moving. You can use dumbbells, you can use body weights. And really, the idea is to keep going for as long as you can within those 20-30 minutes, whether you need a small warm up and a cool down, you're going to spend that 25-30 minutes. One thing I like to do is, especially when I used to go away in hotels and they didn't have a gym, I would literally pick 5 exercises. Normally it's a squat, it'd be star jumps, press ups, sit ups, maybe burpees, maybe lunges, and I'd do those repeatedly for 25 minutes. I'd do 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, and then just do them continuous. Depending on your physical activity level and your endurance, you may want to take longer breaks after each round, but that's something you can do anywhere, and I believe you can find 20-30 minutes. You can also find videos on YouTube that are 20-minute workouts, 25 minutes workouts, depending on your level. So 20-30 minute workouts, they're probably one of the best things you can do. You can do them in the mornings, you can do them on your lunch break if you're at work, you can even do them in the evenings. You can do them in hotels, and like I said, you're not limited. You don't need equipment, but if you've got a set of dumbbells, that will greatly help. Now we're moving on to number 2. Number 2 I call active commuting. And basically what that means is if you're someone who's a working professional, labourer, or whatever job you're currently doing and you travel to work, then here are a couple of tips that you may want to consider. Number 1, you could walk or cycle depending on the distance. They're really good ways of increasing activity. The time it takes you may take an extra 10-15 minutes depending on distance, but it's a great way to increase your activity levels and you're going to get to work anyway. The other methods of increasing activity while commuting is getting off at say you're taking a train or a bus, you get off maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 steps prior to your actual stop. What that will force you to do is walk the rest, and now you're increasing your step count by doing the same journey. You're still going to get to work. You may have to leave 5 or 10 minutes earlier depending on the distance of the 2 or 3 stops, but essentially it's not a major impact in your day or your busy schedule. Number 3, desk exercises. This is not something I've done personally, but I've seen people do them in the office. It does look a bit weird, but you can look up YouTube on desk exercises. You can do them in your chair, and if you've got a standing desk, you can do other ones as well. One thing I have noticed that work people are doing with standing desks are they're getting those little walking treadmills, because they're not designed for running, but they're designed for walking, and you can increase your step count and activity. It's something I'm considering for my little office here. I need to persuade the wife, so let me talk to her about that. Maybe my birthday's coming up in May, so maybe I'll ask her for one of those. But yeah, you can do like push-ups, you can do leg raises, you can do squats. I mean, like, there's lots of exercises you can do. YouTube's your friend when it comes to desk exercises. Number 4 is utilizing your lunch breaks and your coffee breaks. Now, I never got a coffee break at work, but there were plenty of people in the kitchen getting a coffee at 10 and 4. That's the prime time slots for coffee in my office days. Now, one thing I used to like doing is if my support manager or my account manager was around, we'd go for a coffee to a local coffee shop. So we'd walk there. It means we can catch up without the team. So use those little 10-minute breaks to maybe go for a little walk, stretch your legs. Also, lunch breaks. Lunch breaks are vital. Look, I understand you're busy. I was a project manager, and sometimes lunchtime was the worst time to try and take a break. But what I found was that if you take a lunch break and you do some form of movement during that lunch break, you are going to be more productive in the afternoon. So one thing I used to do is I used to scoff my lunch either before or after. I'd take 30 minutes no matter what, and go for a walk. Now, some people in my office, they went to the gym at lunchtime. They used to go for long walks on their lunchtime. They'd go for a run. So you can use your lunch break. You're legally entitled to a lunch break. You don't have to work for it. It doesn't matter how much work you've got on. And I'm saying this from someone who used to deal with strict deadlines. Take your lunch breaks. It's going to make you feel better just by going for a walk. So increase your activity level by utilizing your lunch break, especially if you're at work. Then number 5 is just consistency. Whatever your activity is, whether it's walking, cycling, gymming, you want to be consistent, whether you allot 1 or 2 days to the effort or all 5 days. Like I used to walk every lunchtime for 30 minutes. And like I said, during those lunch breaks, I would take like an account manager or support manager or one of the team out with me so we can catch up. So it's not wasted effort. You're still doing some work, but at least you're moving, getting some steps in, getting some fresh air, time away from the screen in my case. But look, at the end of the day, you want to find pockets of time. How you do that is up to you. Like I said, I've given you 4 ways which you can do it during work time, outside of work time, in the run up to work time. I'm promoting my 10-day focus group. So if you want to join our 10-day focus, type 10, the numbers 10 in the comments. I'll fill you in with some details.